Hello peaches! So today, I don't know how to feel about my lipstick. I don't know. Anyway, today's video, I thought, I had a really fun idea for a video, and that is things that I would tell my teenage self. So this is a mix of like more lighthearted, funny things, but also some very serious things that's like, I really should have done that or known that in a way. And I'm making this because maybe it will help someone out there, but also mostly because I just thought it would be fun and you could kind of have an insight in what kind of a sucky person I was as a teenager. So yeah, let's just get into it. I'm going to start with the funnier, lighthearted things and then go into the more serious, depressing things. So the first thing I would tell my teenage self is just admit that you like pop music. So when I was a teenager, I was a shitty person, and I was very much, I've always been alternative, I've always been into metal, but I also, I have a very broad music taste. I like everything. I like also a lot of pop. Like pop is still like my least favorite genre, but there is quite a lot of it that I do like actually, and it's always been like that. But when I was a teenager, I would not admit that, and I was like that kind of person. Like if someone put on a pop song, I couldn't just sit there and just like don't care. I had to like shout out to everyone. I had to let everyone know how much I hated it. Like I was that kind of person who was like, oh, I hate pop music. It's so like, and it's so unoriginal and that kind of thing. And I had to tell the world, I couldn't just sit there and think it to myself. I was like, I want everyone to know that I don't like this, even though I secretly did. So that is my first advice. Just admit it. Don't be ashamed of liking stuff. The next thing is no one cares about how cool and alternative and different you are. So I, again, always been alternative, and when I was a teenager, I was that kind of person who was like, again, I wanted everyone to know, and I would exaggerate it, and everything I said would be like, something to do with that. Every time I did a school assignment, it had to be something alternative. I did a bunch of stupid things and said a bunch of stupid things because I was like, I want everyone to know how different I am and that I'm not like them. For example, when someone played pop music in class, I would be like, I don't like that because I'm not like you guys, because I'm different, that kind of thing. It's so annoying, and no one cared. No one gave a shit. So please, former self, no one cares. Shut up. The next thing, no one cares about God. Now this is a weird thing to say, I know. Let me explain. I was a Christian until I was about 17 years old. So when I was a teenager, I was very Christian. And I was very Christian. And I say no one cares about God, like there are other Christians out there, of course. But the thing is that in class, I would always, just like I would always bring up how different I am, I would also always bring out God and Jesus. And backstory, my dad was very much against Marilyn Manson. He was Christian, he was a metalhead, he was a goth. My dad, he listened to Judas Priest and all those kind of things. So he loved alternative music, but for some reason Marilyn Manson was just a no-go because he thought that he was in a direct pact with the devil. So that's what I thought. Like I didn't start listening to Marilyn Manson until I became an atheist because I was too scared, because I thought that if I did it, a demon would jump out of the speakers, and I'm not kidding. That is what I thought would happen. So, but I was alternative, so a lot of people came up and like, oh, so you like Marilyn Manson and stuff? And then I would be like, go off on them. I would be like, no, because he's actually like in pact with the devil, and I'm a Christian and I believe in God and my heart belongs to Jesus, so I would never listen to Marilyn Manson. It's different with other metals and metal bands because they don't do that, but Marilyn Manson is like, he is Satan pretty much. So of course I wouldn't, because I love God and I love Jesus. And the next thing kind of ties into that, and that is, please believe in evolution. It's actually real. So when I was a Christian, I wasn't against gay people or anything like that, but I did not believe in evolution because, again, my dad didn't believe it. He kind of brainwashed me. Rest in peace, Dad, I love you, but you were kind of weird. So yeah, I didn't believe in evolution. And again, every time someone talked about evolution, I would be like, evolution is not real. It's actually been proven to be wrong because something with some fruit flies or something, that was a weird experiment, And yeah, I don't know, it was dumb. So I would always do that. But evolution is real. I've become smarter. I was so dumb back then. Well, I was a Christian, so I know that kind of goes pretty well together. But yeah, it was so dumb. So annoying. I was so annoying. I was such an annoying teenager. The next thing is no one cares about how much you watch Twilight. Yeah. So I had a record. I have a record. Well, I haven't... When I was 15 or 16, I kind of hit the mark and I stopped counting. But when I was that age, I had watched Twilight 122 times, I'm pretty sure that is. And then I watched it like a couple times after that. And me and my friend Emma, we're not Twilight fans anymore. It sucks, but we watch it for fun while drinking wine and getting drunk. It's so much fun. So, you know, I watched it a couple more times. But back then, it was like every day I came to school, I was like, I watched Twilight again. Today I watched it twice. Yesterday I watched it 3 times. And, you know, that kind of thing. Like, pretty much every day in school, I would come in and I would just blurt out like, now I watched it 50 times in total. I'm so quirky. And no one cared. Like, in the end, it started to be like a meme in a way. And I thought that, you know, people came up to me and like, are you the girl who watched Twilight 100 times? And, you know, back then I thought it was because like, oh, they think I'm so cool, they think I'm quirky, they think it's awesome and weird, but in a good way. And now I look back and they were totally making fun of me. They were totally like laughing when they walked away properly. So yeah, no one cares about your stupid Twilight. It sucks, alright? It sucks. There's so much better vampire movies out there. It sucks. And the next thing I want to say is stop acting like you want to be a vegetarian because you care about animal rights. So this started when I was 15. I was still in 9th grade and I wanted to be a vegetarian, but you know, I lived at home. It didn't really work out. But then when I was 16, in 10th grade, I went to this school, these kind of schools we have in Denmark, where you live for 1 year. You come home on the weekends, but you live there, and it's so amazing. It's like not that kind of thing where your parents ship you off to because they don't like you and they can't handle you. It's something you choose for yourself because you want to be part of that experience and you want to live with a bunch of other teenagers and go to school, and it's such an amazing experience. So there, you know, I think we were 80 students who lived there, and then the kitchen, obviously, you know, if you have any allergies or special diets, you have to tell them. So you can choose to be a vegetarian if you wanted to. So when I went there, I started to actually be a vegetarian for about 3 months. And I told everyone, both when I wanted to be but couldn't be, but also when I was a vegetarian, that I wasn't, because I think it's unfair that we kill animals just to eat them. And that's not true. That is so not true. Oh my god, I'm outing myself. I was a vegetarian and I wanted to be a vegetarian because I thought it was cool and quirky. Back then, it was not as spread out. Like now, everyone is a fucking vegan. But back then, there wasn't a lot of people who was vegetarian, and there was like no vegans. I never heard about vegans until like, I don't know, a few years ago. So back then, it was a quirky thing to be a vegetarian. It was different. And I also had kind of a slightly hippie style. I was mostly like punkish alternative, but hippie inspired. So I also thought it would go well with my aesthetic to be a vegetarian. So dumb. But yeah, I didn't want to admit that. I told everyone it's because I thought it was so unfair to kill animals, even though that's bullshit. I don't think that. Well, we have to live, you know. And I stopped after only 3 months. And that's again something. Because back then I said that, oh, it was because I started to feel sick. Like I could feel that my body needed meat. Also because I didn't like beans, I didn't like tofu. And that's pretty much where vegetarians get their protein. So I started to feel sick, so I kind of had to go back to eating meat. But it was actually just because I really missed meat. Because I love meat. I was so dumb. Like the things I did to seem quirky and weird is so dumb. Yeah, and that kind of brings me to the next thing. Stop lying. Stop lying. I was definitely a pathological liar. Well, I'm not sure where the line goes, but I wasn't one of those extreme cases, but I did lie a lot. Like, for instance, the whole vegetarian thing. And there were so many things I lied about. I think I already told the story, but when I was in like 9th grade, I wrote down song lyrics from like Korn and Marilyn Manson and Evanescence. I just wrote them down in my notepad, and then when people came by, like my friends and people from my school and class, and they were like, oh, what you're writing? I would be like, oh, it's just a song I'm making. I'm just writing a song. And that's so dumb. Why did I do that? Like, I lied about those kind of things. Those kind of things where it's like, no one cares anyway. It's so dumb. I didn't gain anything from lying about those things. I didn't lie about bigger things. I didn't lie to get money or to get friends or, you know, those kind of things. I only lied about these kind of things that didn't make a difference anyway. All right, the baby's awake. Just one second. Look who just woke up. Hi. He's so tired. Yeah, I guess I have to do the last 2 things with him sitting right here. But there's only 2 things left, so I think we can do that, right? You want to help mommy make a video? The next thing I wanted to say is stop shaming other women. I was so horrible with this. This is really bad. I was shaming women in all sorts of ways. I was slut shaming. I was really bad at slut shaming. Yeah, that's not good. I don't know, I just judged women who wore makeup. I judged women who didn't wear a lot of clothes. I was such a horrible person. I judged women if they have a specific style. It was horrible. And the worst thing is that I was against abortion. I will never be able to forgive myself for this. I was against abortion unless it was rape. That was the only thing. Like, if someone had been raped and got pregnant, then that's okay. But everything else, like, no abortions. You're killing a baby. It's a woman's right to have abortions. It's like, I don't even know why it's a discussion. I don't even know how I could think like that back then. It's insane. So, teenage self, stop shaming other women. Women are amazing. We need to help each other. And stop being against abortions, because that's fucking sick. You came in for the serious part. You missed all the fun part. He's really obsessed with my teeth lately. He recently discovered that I have teeth and they're very interesting. But I don't want your fingers in my mouth. The last thing that I would tell my teenage self is to get some help. I was abused as a child, and when I was 15 I finally told my mom about it and she kicked out the guy who did it. And I refused to get help. I totally, like, I understand that in some situations it can take a while to get help, but it's so important to get help as early as possible. I just refused it. I was like, I could not deal with it, which is, again, it's understandable. But if I was sitting in front of my 15-year-old self who just told my mom about these things, I would tell her to get help as soon as possible. So yeah, there's not much else to say about that one. It's, yeah, get some help. It's really important. So that was actually the video. My battery's low. I have a baby on my lap who needs some food. So I guess it's kind of perfect timing. I really hope you liked this video. I thought it was just a really fun idea, and to give you guys an insight in how I was as a teenager. And also, if you're a teenager yourself, maybe you can see yourself in these things and you can be like, yeah, all right, I think I see what she means. Maybe I should stop doing that, or whatever it might be. Yeah, I thought it would be fun. He's so cute. Yeah, I kissed you. I can kiss you all I want. All right, I'm gonna give him some lunch and then we're gonna visit Grandma, right? Yeah, it will be so fun. Press the like button if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well, and thank you for watching.